Okay, here it is. Here's the video I promised on electrolytes when I did my previous video, which was a video about how I used electrolytes to cure my heart rhythm problems and avoid heart surgery. So if you haven't seen that, I'll stick it in a link in the description down below. Go and give that a watch. And yes, I've had a haircut since that one. Okay, welcome to Shape Fixer. I am Andrew Tunstall, a nutrition coach, a lifestyle coach. I'm also a sports coach. And I'm also a chemistry teacher. So I'm going to explain on a very high level in this video. It's a sort of overview of electrolytes, what they are, what they do, and why we have issues. I will do further videos on specific electrolytes with more detail. So briefly, what they are, for the science nerds, they are ions, positive ions or negative ions, some atomic, some molecular. There we go, that's got rid of the science. For those of us who are not scientists, they are minerals, trace minerals that we have in our bodies that have electrical charges and act to across the cell membranes or through our nervous systems, almost like electricity does in your house. So your nervous system in your body is like the wiring or the electrical system in your house and carries messages around the body. And without them, our messaging doesn't work properly and we have a number of different issues, and they are very easily fixed. So in addition to carrying messages up and down the nerves, they also act to control the actions of our muscles so that our muscles respond correctly to the messages they get, and they serve to keep the acidity levels correct in our bodies, or the pH level, so that our other chemical processes can run the way they should. When we are low in electrolytes, or one or other electrolyte, or they are out of balance with each other, then we have a number of symptoms that we can suffer, like fatigue, anxiety, memory loss, confusion, muscle cramps, which is understandable as they control the way the muscle works, headaches, bad sleep, numbness, but very specifically heart rhythm issues. Remember, of course, your heart is also a muscle. So in a lot of cases, if you are having arrhythmias, tachycardia, bradycardia, palpitations, it is very often related to an electrolyte issue, which I guess is good news because that's usually quite easy to fix. And the reasons our electrolytes get low or out of balance include poor diet, which is not always our fault because we eat what we get in the supermarket, but we do as a society eat A, too much sugar, too much carbohydrate, and B, too much processed food, so the electrolytes are not in the food, so we're not getting enough. You could also just have an issue with absorption, so you could be taking them but not absorbing them very efficiently, especially if you're a bit older. So that would be another reason to try and increase the intake. We do tend now very often to drink too much water, and I don't mean too much fluid, I just mean too much water specifically that is just water and has nothing in it, because that dilutes our electrolytes. And if you are going to hydrate as a regular practice, maybe you do a lot of sport or you live in a warm climate and you sweat a lot, you need to hydrate with electrolytes in the water. So electrolyte salts, not just with water, because you're sweating out, remember you're sweating out water and salts and then you're just replacing it with water. There goes your electrolyte balance. So if you're sweating a lot, if you're bleeding a lot, that could be a cycle issue. If you're female, it could be because you've had surgery recently or a traumatic injury and lost a lot of blood, you will lose electrolytes in your blood. If you're ill and you're vomiting and you have an upset stomach, again, you'll be losing electrolytes. And then alcohol, excessive alcohol use and high stress both act on your kidneys in different ways, but they both have the result of your kidneys not retaining your electrolytes and you pass more urine, and so you could be losing your electrolytes like that. So the first thing you need to do is try and ensure, especially if you are losing electrolytes, that you take in enough electrolytes, generally speaking. And if you can get your general electrolyte level back up, if you still have issues, then you need to try and figure out which individual electrolyte is maybe deficient, and that's where my next few videos will come in. But I can tell you that most commonly, if you are deficient, once you get everything on an even keel and you still have issues, it's probably going to be magnesium and potassium. Sodium is not generally an issue because we eat so much salt anyway. Even if we don't actively put it on our food, it's in the food that we buy. So we have enough salt, table salt, so sodium. That also means we have enough chlorine as well. So sodium and chlorine are both taken care of. Carbonates we make ourselves. Calcium is also generally quite high in most of our food, especially if we have dairy products. We take a lot of calcium. So it's generally magnesium and potassium that are low and will give us issues like heart palpitations. But if we cut down our alcohol and we increase our proper food and we hydrate correctly and we add a general salt electrolyte supplement into our sports drinks, that should address the problem. If it doesn't, then you need to look at magnesium or potassium, and I will suggest that you go and have a look at my videos on magnesium and potassium, which I haven't made right now, but by the time you watch this I might have. So if they're not in the link below, please come back in a couple of days and they will be there. So I hope that helped to understand what the electrolyte issue is. It's not a crisis, it's easy to fix. The supplements are easy to get, they're not expensive, and you can't have too much. Okay, if you have too much sodium, you sweat it out. If you have too much magnesium, it'll pass through and you won't absorb it. If you have too much potassium, it will come out in your urine. So you can't really do yourself a lot of harm. If you take more calcium than you need, you get a bonus of having the spare calcium stashed away in your bones, which makes your bones stronger. So don't be afraid to take electrolytes, and if you are having heart issues or cramps in the night, or you're feeling fatigued or anxious and you have any of those symptoms, just take a general electrolyte supplement and see if that doesn't help. Thank you very much for watching. Please click a like, please subscribe to our channel, and all the information I gave here is in the description below. So if you need to go and double check it, the list of symptoms, the list of reasons, all that will be down there. Thank you for watching.